may be difficult for us at times to envision the idea that God is a family. Because God being a society of socially divine persons, it's difficult for us to see it as such. But they are. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit constitute the divine family. Three persons of God. And in deciding to share the very essence of God with us, He created us in His image and likeness. And so also perpetuated Himself in His creation. He gave us the complementary gift of man and woman, which were united in the one flesh, and opened their hearts to the procreative aspect of life. Life begins from the moment of conception until the spiritual death. It is one of the greatest mysteries of love as a gift that is given to us. That is classically what we know as the human family in God. Today's society has different aspects of family. They're nonetheless family. Because in whatever form they come before us, as children of God, God lives in each and every single one of us. And God loves us. And God desires our redemption and never our destruction. And He's very patient with all of us. But it is important that we have clear in our minds and in our hearts the concept of family. Because family is the single most important cell of all human society. Destroy the family, and you have destroyed society. All of us here present today are family. Even though we come from different ethnic, linguistic, racial, geographic backgrounds, we are family. Because we are a product of the love of God in His creation. And those of us most especially who are baptized Christian, we have a very special family relationship with the Lord our God. It's difficult to imagine that an image of a beautiful little baby with his hands open to receive the entirety of humanity would one day undergo trials and tribulations, enormous pain and suffering for all of us. But as He walked through the pathway of death, He was teaching us to trust in the ways of God. For even in walking through a valley of death, we will find life and find it eternally. And in this, at the outlet of life, the cross, that Jesus teaches us once again about family. Just before His death, He looked upon his mother and the beloved disciple and said, "Behold your mother." And at the cross, Saint John, whose feast we would otherwise celebrate today, but for the solemnity of this feast, represented all of us. And he said to his mother, "Behold your son." And there the bond of family was reaffirmed by the author of life at the altar of life. We need to remember always the very special gift that God gives to all of us in family. It is also good to know that the Holy Family, like any family, had, in the words of Catherine Hepburn in the movie The Lion of Winter, its ups and downs. Because that is part of life. Living through the ups and downs and persevering in the love that is in our heart for one another, and consecrated in the hard love of God. I guess one of the worst, if not the most anxious moment in the life of a parent is when a child is displaced or lost, even voluntarily. I know, because I crossed out upon my parents when I was about 6 or 7. I'm reminded of the details that oftentimes I have forgotten when we block them out of my mind. But we are mission. And I was playing like any child, building my sandcastles. And though we spent the entire summer, Dad was only able to be with us 1 month. And so Mother was in charge the rest of the time. And I know she did call and said, "Let's go. We're going home." I stayed up, playing in the sand. And somehow, when I got out, I did not see it. I didn't even know a house number. And I took off in the wrong direction. And a couple, God's angels, I'm sure, saw me crying and sobbing as I walked through. And they took me by the hand, and they were bringing me to the police station where Mom was also going to the police station and found me. At that moment, I felt that reassuring love of my mother. And I was scared to death, thinking, "Oh boy, am I going to get it? There is no escaping it." But as it happened, she did see it. That evening, which was a Friday, I am told, Dad came home and she told him what had happened. And after dinner, he took me aside and he spoke to me, man to man. And he taught me the lesson of being obedient to my parents. He really and truly did. I did not receive any punishment other than the punishment I had inflicted on myself in the separation moments when I was lost. Imagine what it must have been like for Joseph and Mary. Because in the Jewish tradition of their time, the men were always separated from the women, even as they caravaned from Nazareth to Jerusalem for the holy feast of Passover, to receive the blessing of the high priest as he entered the holies of holies, and then gave the blessing to the people of God. Imagine in the synagogue where the women were on one side and the men on the other, and children under 12 could be at either side. But it wasn't until they turned 13 and they were baptized that they had to leave the men. Imagine it. She must have thought that Jesus was with Joseph, and Joseph must have thought that Jesus was with Mary until late in the day. But they came together. They realized that Jesus was not with either of them. The anguish, the real pain that they must have felt. I often reflected on that. Did they at that moment feel that they had failed God in being the good parents? Because parents usually have guilty feelings about the way their children do things when they shouldn't. God gave us all freedom. And you always do the best that you can in teaching the ways of God. And also from experience in my own home. And imagine when the Blessed Mother found Jesus, happy-go-lucky, no time, nothing. He was having a great old time. He was talking with the masters, with the rabbi, with the Pharisees and the scholars of the law. He had no clue. Sacred Scripture is very clear on that. He had no clue what chaos, quote unquote, he had done to his parents in their heart. And in fact, it's very insistent, like most teenagers. You know, what are you making such a big deal? Basically, that's what he calls it. Don't you know that about my father's business? Isn't that a typical teenage answer? Robert, you're laughing. Did I just strike a point somewhere all the way? Because in our innocence as children and teenagers, life is invisible. Nothing wrong ever wrong and happen to us. The parents grew preoccupied. And Jesus also, in his humanity, learned the lesson of honoring his father and mother and being obedient to them. Because he needed God. And he's also very human. In every respect like us, except in sin. And in his humanity, he had to live. Even those moments Because they're peaceful moments for all of us. 20-some years ago, at the close of the Holy Year of the family, St. John Paul II reminded us to keep the love of family alive in our hearts, to always cherish the gift of God as children of God, and to always assist one another as God loves us. The Holy Family of Nazareth is one of the greatest examples any family can have in that certain knowledge that yes, holiness is achievable because we have received the grace for the merits of our baby in the creche at the altar of life that is the cross. And when God is with us, nothing can ever defeat us. So to all our families, happy Family Day, and thank you for responding to the love call of God and opening your hearts and selves to continue to bring life into the